What's up guys, my name is Dean aka the Blue Crusader and welcome back to the channel. In today's top 10 video we'll be looking at the top 10 free to play games of 2018. Although these are ranked based on my personal opinion and liking for each game, it's simply an opinion and all games on this list are equally fun. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 10, League of Legends. Although its numbers have slightly dwindled in comparison to its stats around 3 or 4 years ago, League of Legends still maintains a loyal and stable community. One of the most popular MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena titles, League of Legends stays strong as one of the most popular free-to-play games on this list. When it was first released in 2009, League of Legends hit it off big with online gamers as it was like no other game, perhaps other than what it originally mirrored, the Dota mod for Blizzard's Warcraft 3. The game allows players to choose from a seemingly endless pool of heroes or champions, as they're called, which have different specialities and fight on different areas of the map called lanes. Bot lane, bottom, mid lane, middle and top lane. Bot lane is where two players in the roles of range damage and support or healer are placed, with mid primarily being a magic caster or glass cannon attack damage dealer plays, and top lane being an attack damage based tank character. There is also the jungle where computer controlled enemies spawn, which are harvested by players in the jungler role who assist other lanes as their role. Although there seems to be so much to learn, the game is very noob friendly and there's a high chance at least one or two of your friends have played League of Legends before. Number 9, Dota 2. Dota 2 is number 9 on this list, not just for placement based on my personal opinion, but also due to its similar nature and mechanics to the previous contender, League of Legends. Dota 2 is the result of Valve, yes, the creator of Half-Life if you didn't already know, trying their best to recreate a similar game to the original Dota mod for Warcraft 3. Kinda how League of Legends was spawned. However, they definitely did a great job. Dota 2 is slightly harder to learn with an increased skill curve than League of Legends, although it's perhaps more easier to get into due to some 100 characters or more being available for free for all to play. Unlike League of Legends champions that need to be purchased with real money or free points that are earned over time. Dota 2 has a huge esports league maintained by Valve themselves, who use the money funded by the game's skins and battle pass to form the prize pool. The most competitive championship event is known as the International, in which players are pooled against each other for the chance to win millions of dollars. Number 8, Cry of Fear. Cry of Fear, originally a total mod conversion of Half-Life's Half-Life game on the Gold Source engine, is extremely impressive. The mod turned into its own game, and although Gold Source is the Half-Life 1 engine and definitely older than the Source, Half-Life 2's engine, the developers have done great things to work with what they've got. The game doesn't seem to be as blocky as the levels presented in the Half-Life games itself, and the scenery and 3D models are amazing. The game has neat features such as an inventory system and a flashlight to allow the player to traverse through its dark world as they explore and attempt to complete puzzles and feel the suspense. The game's scare factor spawns from the heavy implementation of jump scares and eerie tension from the music and sounds. However, for a free game, it's definitely one of the best horror titles to pick up on Steam. Number 7, No More Room in Hell. What started out as a mod for Half-Life 2, similar in fashion to Half-Life 1 mod Cry of Fear previously mentioned, No More Room in Hell, now a standalone game, is a strong contender on this list. Imagine a free-to-play version of Left 4 Dead with an increased number of players to aid you in the apocalyptic world, and perhaps steal your loot. That is the reality of the wave-based zombie survival game No More Room in Hell. The game really makes the zombie survival experience lifelike, with a scarcity of loot and teammates that, if tables turn, could quickly rise as the living dead when you're not looking. The game features a custom HUD, heads-up display interface, an inventory, proximity-based team voice chat, and there's also a wide variety of different weapons to equip and utilise, such as bolt-action rifles, shotguns, melee weapons and more. Number 6, Hearthstone. Hearthstone, perhaps one of the most game-breaking and ingenious spawns of the minds of World of Warcraft's Blizzard games, is basically the concept of playing a card game on your computer, something not all of us are too familiar with. There are random card drops in each game to keep the opponent guessing, with hundreds of unique cards which have their own abilities with them that could make or break a game. Although it's still a card game, it still makes for an intense battle with friends and keeps you guessing what the others will do next. The game also has legendary cards which can only be obtained through opening packs or completing expansion content, which does create a slight pay to win experience, although legendary cards don't always make or break a game. It depends on the overall skill of each opponent. Number 5, Star Wars The Old Republic. The first and only MMORPG, massively multiplayer online role-playing game on this list, and for good reason, Star Wars The Old Republic is surprisingly really good, and perhaps my second favourite MMO, only second to World of Warcraft, and that's saying something because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. BioWare's The Old Republic, although not canon in the current Disney Star Wars timeline and universe, features a plethora of characters from the original Star Wars expanded universe, such as Darth Revan, Darth Vitiate, and more. Some of which only Star Wars fans and players of BioWare's other franchise, Knights of the Old Republic, will be familiar with. Most MMORPGs fail, especially when compared to World of Warcraft or being labelled as WoW clones, but the Old Republic surprisingly brings its own spin on the genre and its own unique style. The game doesn't try to be something it's not, but rather try to bring a new experience, which is something I liked, and it allowed me to actually enjoy the game. The Old Republic has only been free to play for a few years after approaching failure, but it's a strong title and there is still the option to subscribe to unlock more content. The great thing about subscribing on the game, however, is the ability to access every piece of DLC expansion content when it's released, which is actually quite frequent. The game received regular updates with brand new characters and storylines to keep it fresh. Number 4. Team Fortress 2. Although one of the older games on this list, Team Fortress 2 is Valve's answer to the fans begging for a sequel to Team Fortress Classic, aka the first Team Fortress. TF2 was released in 2007, and although numbers have kind of slowed down, it's managed to stay relevant and fun for over 11 years and counting at this current time. Now that's pretty impressive. Team Fortress 2 brings a cartoony graphic look with fun characters and 9 unique classes to choose from. The game boasts a big collection of official maps to choose from, as well as thousands of community created ones too, and more recently. They have even added a competitive mode with a ladder and ranking system, similar to their other title Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The game also offers hundreds of unique items which can be bought and even traded through the community, which creates a strong trading system with players owning hundreds and thousands of dollars in items in their Steam inventories. Number 3. H1Z1. Although a fun game, H1Z1 has created a bad name for itself in the past, due to shifted ownership and changes in the developer team. However, I still have personally managed to put around 1,000 hours into this game myself and reach the top level of skill. The game is very competitive in nature and definitely more of a skill-based game that is almost entirely focused around aiming mechanics, only rather than other factors. This makes it vital for players to practice their shot, which they can do via the game's new combat training mode, a mode that I spent perhaps 200 hours in to increase my skill. The game falls under the Battle Royale genre and was aided in creation by PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds owner, Brendan Green. Developed by Daybreak Games, H1Z1 pits the player against around 149 other players as they drop over a contested map. The goal is to acquire loot and vehicles before other players without dying in order to gain an advantage over others before stacking your kill count. The game features a semi-open world environment with rough terrain, vegetation and varying locations and points of interest to visit on the map, with 3 different types of vehicles with varying speed and traits to use. The game has solo mode, duo mode and fives mode, which is basically just squads mode. Players can also loot airdrops, which drops in threes around the map that can grant special exclusive items such as upgraded body armor and the hunting rifle sniper that can only be found in airdrops. The game has hundreds of unique skins which can be unlocked from in-game points, from challenges or from chests that can be traded on the Steam marketplace. H1Z1 is definitely one of the best Battle Royale games to try if you have a competitive nature and a lot of patience. The game also has a new development team that are giving it a lot of love to try to bring it back to its prime. Number 2. Ironsides. Do you like Call of Duty? Perhaps the correct question is, did you like Call of Duty? Even with the release of Black Ops 4, the Call of Duty hype hasn't really been a mainstream thing since Modern Warfare 2 and before. Ironsides is a free-to-play FPS, first-person shooter game, which is currently in open beta phase, meaning the game may have bugs and may be in testing, but anyone can download and access it to play. The game's story is set in the future Earth 2025, in which the militaries are facing off to gain control of the few remaining natural resources on Earth. The game boasts many different game modes such as Team Deathmatch, Secure Point, Resource Takeover and Search and Destroy. See why I use Call of Duty as a comparison now? You can use up to or over some 100 different weapons with skins and attachments, allowing for customization, which can be unlocked with in-game free points or paid points. The game doesn't really seem to offer any advantage for pay-to-play players, which is what it makes it so strong, and the shooting mechanics are almost perfect. I actually found the weapons reasonable and fair, with players not taking too long or short to fall to me in combat, and the sounds and effects of the weapons being satisfying. Ironsides is a great game to play with people you know, or even friends, and a strong free-to-play FPS. Number 1. Fortnite Battle Royale. Fortnite. Perhaps this is a game you've heard of a lot in the past 6 months. You may have even seen it frequently on my own channel if you aren't new here. I became a player myself when it first came out and I've loved it since. Fortnite has 2 modes, but we're here to cover the free-to-play Battle Royale mode. Developed by Epic Games and released in September 2017, Fortnite Battle Royale took off in a way barely any of us could have imagined or expected. Similar to the huge growth and boom seen in 2009's Minecraft, Fortnite pits the player against 99 other players on a reasonable sized map with fun places to explore with catchy names like Risky Reels, Lonely Lodge or Tilted Towers. You see the alliteration now, don't you? It follows the same approach as the rest of the games in its genre. The last person out of 100 to survive is the winner. Perhaps what makes this game so unique and more successful than a lot of other Battle Royale games though is because it features building. Try to picture PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds with a PG rating, merged with Minecraft, and you have Fortnite. Fortnite is developed and maintained by Epic Games, who do a great job by doing regular, weekly content updates in the form of new limited time fun game modes, skins, and brand new items. The game focuses more on fun than bouncing, but somehow does a great job of both, with Epic nerfing, buffing or removing items that are too strong or weak. The game has hundreds of cool and unique skins which can be purchased with the in-game paid currency, V-Bucks, and has a strong immunity. Fortnite is revolutionary as it even lets you to play completely cross-platform with your friends with PC, Xbox One, PS4, iOS and Android players all being able to play together. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you disagreed with the opinions in this video, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see more top 10 videos like this and daily gaming videos, subscribe to the channel for more so you don't miss out. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.